Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dave McCauley here with another video. This time we got another 6v6 Wi-Fi battle here on Pokemon Omega Ruby. I'm still rocking my Mega Medicham team, and this time around, as you can see, my opponent had an all-flying team. I didn't know this when I was coming into the match. I saw this team and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. The one thing my team relies on is the Sticky Web. And guess what? None of these Pokemon are affected by Sticky Web because they're Flying type. So I was like, immediately, oh, this is going to be a really good battle. I'm probably going to post this one on YouTube. This one's going to be good. I'm going to see how everything pans out. And funny enough, my Galvantula here is actually going to be able to put in work and do stuff other than just set up the Sticky Web. But here, I really only have three ways of taking care of these Pokemon. It'd be Galvantula with super effective damage. Galvantula with Volt Switch, Entei has Stone Edge, and Medicham has Ice Punch. But other than that, there's not going to be too much I can do to this team, so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to enjoy it, because Wooticle and Medicham get hit by the super effective flying types. So we're going to go ahead and get this battle started now. And I was like, even though my the Sticky Web isn't going to be too important, it's not really going to do, actually it's not going to do anything. I still wanted to lead off with Galvantula, and my opponent leads with Chatot. And I remember I saw this thing in a battle once, and I knew it had something. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but I knew this Pokemon had something. And I was surprised that I was able to outspeed. And we do see that it does have the Focus Sash. This obviously isn't Battle Spot, so he could have they could all technically be holding Focus Sashes. But I was trying to think. I don't know what this Pokemon has. I knew it's not, or it's more of a special attacker. And Chatter. I was like, that's the move. That's the move. So that's why I didn't switch in the Wooticle. And just so you guys know, Chatter has a 100% chance of confusing. So we're going to see he's going to outspeed, and he gets off the Boom Burst. So here's pretty much a 50-50. If I connect, I take it out. If not, I go down. So as I do hit myself in confusion, and I do snap out. I go for Detect here, trying to stall out a PP. I don't know, because Boom Burst has low PP, if I remember correctly. I thought it had 5 PP at least. But he ends up going for another Chatter and another Chatter, maybe predicting a switch, I don't know. But I just decided to let Sylveon go down. It's not worth the switch. So here I just go straight in the Medicham, since I do have priority Bullet Punch. So I just Mega Evolve here, and it's also going to be nice to have the speed boost for if I ever want to switch this bad boy back in. Because, I mean, it does have Ice Punch, so it could do some damage. And he just lets his Chatot go down. So I just get off the Bullet Punch, and we're able to take this thing down. So no more confusion. Well, no more confusion spam from Chatot at least. So he's gonna go into Talonflame, which is the obvious choice. I switch out. See, and I will say, when I was into here, like, of course I don't have Stealth Rocks on this team, but I was like, but he does have Mandibuzz, which is the Defogger. So I just go into Drapion here. I'm expecting the Brave Bird, Recoil, the Life Orb, and the Rocky Helmet damage, which would be a ton of health, like around 50%. So he does not have the Life Orb, which I found interesting. I was like, is he Choice Band then? And he actually goes for the Swords Dance, so he's not Choice Band. I do go for the knockoff as well, just to get rid of his item. I was actually underwhelmed by that damage. And so here he has Roost, and I say, okay, so he might be a bulkier one since he does have Swords Dance as well. But I just decided, I didn't know that, so I just went for a knockoff. I'm like, maybe he's going to want to switch. I do get the crit there. Of course, I didn't get the crit the first time around. He goes for another Roost, and so here I'm deciding, because I do have Toxic, so I'm thinking maybe Toxic would be a better option. And I was going for knockoffs here, because I wanted, in case he decided to switch in something else, because there he just wasted like 3 or 4 PP of Roost. So, I mean, I think it does have 10 PP, and he's probably not going to use it. But here I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go for Toxic, that way he's not going to be able to stall me out. After the Rocky or the Brave Bird damage and stuff, he's gonna want to switch out. So luckily I do connect, and he goes for the Brave Bird again here. And we saw how much damage it did before, but this time it's going to be +2, and he ends up taking me out, which sucks. I did go for the Poison Jab that time around to get a little more damage off, but we're going to see he did take quite a bit of damage from Poison, from Rocky Helmet, and from Recoil, so now he's already at 50%. And I go on my Galvantula here. so that I can either force him out, or because I was thinking maybe he would go for the Brave Bird, because if he does, he's gone, and if he switches out, it's just as good. So he just took me down to my Focus Sash, and so it's going to bring him low, and the Volt Switch is going to be more than enough to take him out. And I get Switch Initiative, and Galvantula is still going to be alive, so if I ever need to sack it off, or if I'm going to be able to outspeed something, I can throw it in and pick up a knockout, or do some damage at least. So looking at my opponent's team, I decided my best option would be Entei. Ludicolo's not going to be able to do anything. I want to save it for a potential fake out if necessary. And he also has Ice Beam. And my opponent here has Knocked Out. I go for the Stone Edge and I miss. That's actually a game-changing miss right there. Because here he goes for the Reflect. So that's a big deal, since like the remaining Pokemon I have are special or physical attackers. There I get the crit, and I am able to pick up the knockout. But unfortunately, I didn't connect the first time around. So we're going to see the Mandibuzz is going to come in. This is where the Reflect's really going to pay off for him. I obviously am choice banded, so I can't go for the Sacred Fire. If I wasn't banded, I would go for the Sacred Fire, hoping for the burn to get the residual damage off. And of course, he has Foul Play. One of the moves I don't like in this, because it's just easy for a stall Pokemon to do insane damage. So he's able to take out Entei just like that. I didn't think it was worth switching anything in or out. If I had Drapion still, I would have switched that. It would have been nice. But I just go on the Galvantula here because I want to get the Volt Switch, since this Mandibuzz, I know one of the most common items is Rocky Helmet, so he's probably physically defensive, and with the Reflect, that's why he wasn't taking that much damage. So that Volt Switch was actually able to floor, do quite a bit of damage, over, I think it was like 50%. And here I just go into Ludicolo. And the Reflect wears off, so he's going to bring in Honchkrow. He only got 2 Pokemon, not Honchkrow and Unpheasant. So I go for the Fake Out. I just want to, just in case this thing has Focus Sash, I just want to get rid of it, get a little bit of damage off. You never know when it's going to come in use. So Honchkrow is just going to go straight up for the Brave Bird, which is going to floor Ludicolo. Poor Ludicolo didn't get to do much. Struggles with the flying matchup. But he actually took quite a bit of recoil damage. But we see his Moxie, which isn't. It is a big deal because now he's gonna have +1 Sucker Punch. So here, that's why I bring in Galvantula. I'm like, he would go for the Sucker Punch, which he does, and I knew he was gonna do that. So that's why I go for the Thunder Wave. The only way I win this is like if I get a full Paralysis and I get a Volt Switch or Ice Punch through. Because the last Pokemon he has is Unpheasant, which has lower base speed than my Medicham. So I'm like, if I can get in Medicham and take this thing out, I should be able to one-shot the Unpheasant. So that's what I go for now. I just go, and this is the only thing I have left. So it's Medicham versus his 2. And strangely enough, he didn't go for his Sucker Punch. Maybe he didn't think he could knock me out. So here I'm like, I'm confident. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be able to win because I'm going to outspeed his Unpheasant since I have higher base speed. And actually, he goes for Sky Attack, and I was like, what? Is something wrong? And I realized I'm adamant nature, not timid. Or excuse me, jolly. If I was jolly, I probably would have won. So he's able to get the Power Herb Sky Attack off. So that's probably why he didn't go for Sucker Punch with Honchkrow. He was probably wanting to win with that. So a 1-0 for my opponent. Flying type team is probably the worst kind of team I could go up against with this, since the Pokemon my team revolves around is weak to flying, and my team also relies on the Sticky Web. So flying types are unaffected by Sticky Web, unfortunately, and that's going to result in that wasn't necessarily an easy win for my opponent. That Reflect really saved him, because that Mandibuzz wouldn't have been able to take out my Entei if Reflect wasn't up and I connected with my Stone Edges. So, I mean, I can't complain. That was obviously part of his strategy, just like Sticky Web's part of my strategy. But that first miss I had on that Knockout was a game-changing miss. But what happens is part of the game is what I get for running Stone Edge instead of something with 100% accuracy. But I thought you guys would like this. This is, I think, in the singles, this is the first mono-type team I've come up against. In doubles, I've come up against, like, I had a Dragon-type full dragon type team that I went up against. But it was a lot of fun. Of course, it was the worst kind I could have gone up against. A steel one would have been easy to defeat. A dark one would have been pretty easy to defeat. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.